All right, here we go. Some of the most richly colored reblooming daylilies that have existed. And guess what? No one else has these. These are brand new to the gardening world. In fact, before this year, none of them had the name. See how that one's called South Seas? It was just a number. They only had numbers. And then Eric, Court's brother, named these. Which is really cool. He named these out of based on his 3 favorite places in the Bahamas. So there's Old Fort Bay, there's one called Albany, which is not Albany, New York, it's a resort in the Bahamas. So we're on with Devin, and Devin, you know, it's interesting that your Uncle Eric named it, but more interesting for the person who gets it home, these are daylilies that no one else in the world has had the opportunity to get yet, right?
Yeah, you know, everyone loves daylilies because daylilies, they are the backbone of the American garden. This is a plant that is suitable for every single garden across the country. They can handle anything, and that's why people love growing them. But these are the most exquisite daylilies anyone has ever seen. These are 3 brand new varieties that my Uncle Eric, he worked with the breeders to create. And what he created was this collection of the most colorful, largest flowered, multicolored, reblooming daylilies that are going to bloom for months and months and months every single year, all summer long. And, you know, I love the daylilies because you can plant them, you know, at the very back of the garden where the hose doesn't reach. You can plant them in the really intense hot sun. You know, maybe your winters get in feet and feet of snow, or they get salt splashed from, you know, the snow things in the middle of winter. These plants don't care. They can handle anything. And what I love about this collection is you're getting 3 of the most unique varieties. Now, if we can go through those images again and look at exactly what they're going to look like in the garden, because each of the 3 colors they're about 7-inch wide flowers. Now here you can see them beautifully along this nice border. That's probably 3 or 4 collections. Now this first one, the South Seas, I love it. This is like super tropical looking daylily. You have that corally kind of mandarin orange petals with that wonderful canary yellow eye that makes it shine in your garden. And as a reblooming daylily, you can get up to 4 months of flowers. And these are even fragrant daylilies, which makes them even better. This one is probably my favorite because as a daylily, I had never seen anything quite like this. He called this the Old Fort Bay. It's like a 6 to 7 inch creamy white flower, and then it has that extra large purple eye, which is just like a satiny purple. And you know, this isn't a daylily that's going to produce 1 or 2 flowers every week. No, this is going to produce dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of flowers over its long bloom season. As a reblooming daylily, it has to have at least flowers for twice as long as your typical daylily.
Yeah.
And then you can see the Albany. This is also a very beautiful 5 to 6 inch wide flower with that bright green throat. And this is also fragrant. So imagine having these shine in your garden. You know, I love them along walkways. I love them kind of as you walk into your front door, you're just welcomed by lines of these beautiful daylilies. And many gardeners love to get a few of these collections and plant them all around the garden because they are so easy to grow.
Well, guess what? Devin, you just read everybody's mind because everybody appears to be picking up more than one set, and we're getting a little limited now. So they end up being about $7 and change a piece. I think it's like $7.76 when I did the math. For a daylily that doesn't exist anywhere else, no matter how much you're willing to pay for it, even if you could go to that great garden center that unfortunately is closed right now, but even if you could go, they would not have these. Last year, they didn't even have names. This is an exclusive daylily from Roberta's, and I want to show you the difference even in size and just excitement, because this is a standard daylily, kind of like the kind you might see on the side of the road. Devin, what makes, and they're pretty, but what makes your daylilies, this Nassau collection, so much better than the daylilies that, you know, we're familiar with?
Well, for one, if you go to your garden centers and you ask for a reblooming daylily, they will likely point you in the direction of what you're holding, that tiny little Stella d'Oro. Now, those Stella d'Oros, they're popular because they're easy to get a hold of, but they are not cheap. They're expensive, but they're all kind of that single plain color. Compare that to any one of ours. Ours are much larger, much fuller flowers. All of them are multicolored 2 of the 3 varieties are fragrant, and ours will continue to bloom long after the stelladores have finished. That's what makes Roberta's so much better.
So before we run out, I want to show everybody what they're going to get. Now, here's what's interesting too, and this is for everyone who's maybe never shopped with us before, maybe never shopped live plants from us before. So a lot of times, well, I would say actually not a lot, most of the time, when you go into a garden center, you're buying these, the bulbs, the roots that have been bagged up. You don't know how long they've been sitting there. They very rarely look this fresh. The thing about the ones you're getting from Roberta's, they aren't really dug up out of the ground until you order them. So you're getting fresh right from the ground. These are so healthy looking, Devin, and they're going to be really easy to plant.
They're a cinch to plant. They're going to be, they're going to arrive to your doorstep free of charge, delivered to your doorstep. They're going to be nice and plump and ready to get right back in the ground. So imagine getting 4 or 5 or 6 of these collections, lining your walkways, lining your fences, maybe dot them in amongst all of your other friends. Daylilies are one of the best plants that they work well with all of the plants in your garden because they're effortless and they provide so much beauty. In this collection, you're getting 3 of the most gorgeous, fragrant, 2 of them are fragrant and they're all reblooming daylilies. And just look at the beauty of that daylily flower. Many of us have never seen colors of daylilies quite like this. That's what makes these so spectacular.
Yeah. Daylilies are always some of the easiest and most rewarding plants to put in your garden because they take very little effort and you get a lot in terms of flowers and look for that little effort. But in this case, you're getting daylilies that are bigger, that are reblooming. 2 of the 3 are fragrant, and for people who love daylilies, that is a big deal, and it's a big deal. But also, you're not getting daylilies that anyone else had. Last year we didn't have these because they were just numbers. They just each had a number as they were being bred. And then Eric Wallin was able to get them, secure all of them. So actually Roberta's is the only retailer that has them, and they brought them to us. And so they actually were even able to name them out of places that Eric loves in the Bahamas. So when you get these home, just know, even if you have a yard full of daylilies, or maybe your neighbor has a yard full of daylilies, you don't have anything like this. This is completely brand new and it's really exciting. Also, just so you know, you'll get the growing guide. Now, the guys at Roberta's write these growing guides for you. In fact, I think, Devin, you write these now, don't you?
I do. I write them all. And daylilies are one of my favorite ones. They're so easy to plant. And we actually have this really cool new video series on like the Roku and Fire Stick apps called Roberta's. And we have a lot of awesome informative videos, and I'm about to post one up soon about exactly how to plant daylilies to get the best growth out of them. But they are a cinch to grow. That's why everyone loves them.
Well, guess what? Everyone does love them. Brian, how many have just been ordered? Ooh, over 3,000 have just been ordered. That means over half of the quantity that we have left for this entire season gone. So if you want them, don't wait. Okay, I have a couple updates for you.
Get a few collections while you still can.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I have a couple updates for you. Our foxgloves have sold out. Congratulations, everyone who got those up. But still to come. Now, I was saying to my producer, Brian, I think this might sell out. Now, just about if